While the first sections of the strategy are concerned with building on what we already know about Greater Manchester's urban forest, quantifying the value of our trees and woodlands, and making the case for their protection, their expansion, and their replacement, this section is concerned with the question, if trees can deliver all these benefits, where should we be planting the next 3 million and beyond to deliver the greatest benefits for people and to help improve the long-term health and resilience of our neighbourhoods? So we'd like to take some time to explain our approach to answering this question and outline some of the ways the results can be accessed and utilised. To begin, we needed to define the benefits or ecosystem services, and I'm sorry if I use these terms interchangeably, that there's evidence that trees can deliver. And we wanted to make sure that our scope was in line with work being undertaken by the Combined Authority on other elements of our green infrastructure. Following on, the simplest approach would have been to take datasets that describe spatially where the need for these services is greatest or where we've got problems and overlay these on top of each other to produce a map of hotspots of issue, of problem. However, a map that simply shows whole neighbourhoods as areas of need isn't very helpful in designing projects, and we wanted to be able to pinpoint exactly where trees were going to be beneficial, but where we could realistically get spades into the ground as well. So taking Ordnance Survey's detailed master map as the baseline, we first wanted to produce a map of land that we might consider to be capable of being planted, a plantability map. And using information built into master map, and also by bringing in other local data sets, such as designations and other land use, we were able to screen out parcels of land that would not beneficially be capable of holding trees. This results in a detailed map of what we call notionally plantable. So that's land that is capable of having trees planted on it, although there might not necessarily be permission to do so. There's been no consultation with landowners in this case. This is just about what is physically, technically plantable. Something to say about this is that not all of these parcels are already green space. And this map also includes car parks, public squares, and pavements where they're wide enough, because we want to highlight the importance of greening hard landscapes. The next step was to find easily accessible, available data sets that describe where the problems were greatest, so where this need was, and where trees might play a role in alleviating these issues. And then intersecting those layers with our plantability map to highlight where trees might most usefully be planted in each case. And I should say at this point that the rationale and evidence to support the choice of these data sets is presented in the strategy, and a detailed methodology is available on request. So just taking some of these data sets in turn then, we have here the DEFRA air quality map. So this map is showing areas of the highest modelled concentration of PM2.5s around Greater Manchester. Now these are the very fine particulates, most commonly associated with transport emissions, that are known to cause respiratory issues, particularly for young people. And this is a close-up of one of those areas of concentration, with the plantable parcels highlighted in green. So what we've essentially done here is to score parcels if they appear to offer an opportunity, so if they intersect with one of these areas of need. In some cases, as here, a slightly higher score is given to parcels where trees are going to be of particular benefit or importance. So in this case, the very dark green parcels are those surrounding a primary school, where we think it's particularly important to use trees designed well to help screen residents, school children from particulate emissions. The next map here is a map of modelled surface temperature, a piece of work that was produced by the University of Manchester. And what we did here was to pick out those areas that are likely to receive the very highest temperatures by 2050 and overlay that with our plantable parcels to show those areas where we could realistically plant trees to help reduce daytime temperatures, increase comfort, increase safety, and potentially reduce demand for energy for cooling systems. The next map is showing those parcels that could be of particular importance for helping to create nature recovery networks or stepping stones. So these being the plantable parcels that are the very farthest away from any existing woodland or trees. Looking at water quality and flood management, These are plantable parcels that map against the Environment Agency's own map of potential for beneficial riparian planting. And here we've given a higher score to those parcels directly upstream of communities identified as at risk from flooding. And here we've got the same for wider catchment planting. So behind the maps, we basically have a big table of numbers with every parcel or landscape feature represented as a row and scored in the columns for its potential to deliver a specific benefit if trees were planted there. When all of these scores are summed together, it allows us to rank each parcel according to how many benefits might be gained by planting at that location. So we've called that rank priority because we think high scoring places are those where we should be thinking about first, but we might also have called it impact or most benefit, maximum benefit. Viewed at landscape scale, you can see a few large areas really stand out. But there are many smaller areas where trees could deliver several benefits and improve the resilience of our towns and our city region. While these maps are each presented in the All Our Trees strategy document, they are probably least useful viewed as static images and need to be viewed dynamically. So to allow everyone to fully explore these maps, we've uploaded them to Mapping GM, where they sit under the Environment and Ecology section. So the maps can be viewed at the landscape scale, to search for priority sites or areas of maximum benefit, or each individual ecosystem benefit can be selected from the drop-down menu and examined individually. So looking again at PM 2.5 opportunities or urban cooling, and so on. Once an area of interest is found, or if a user has a particular interest in a location, whether that's a property that they own or that they're working on as a developer, then that site can be zoomed in and the opportunities, either combined or specific, can be examined at that scale. And this could either be used to show the general importance that that site may have for tackling issues in the area, or just we're looking for sites to tackle a specific issue. So we've got the particulates opportunity mapping there. We've also got our stepping stones for nature, as well as the potential that sites in this location might have for enhancing active travel routes. If users have the capability and a license to make use of Ordnance Survey data, then this data is most usefully interrogated in a GIS. This allows you to examine specific geographies and assess the scale and priority of opportunities that might exist, whether that be local authority district, ward level, or within specific property boundaries, such as with social housing providers. It also allows you to search for very exact parameters, so searching for parcels of a particular size or of above a particular benefit threshold, and quantify the amount of land that might be available for tree planting to tackle those issues. In a GIS as well, these data sets can also be combined with other data, third-party data sets, to look for areas of joint interest or joint priority, such as planned investment locations, or planned habitat creation in the case of other government agencies, to see where joint projects could be established. So this data can be shared with partners on request, or City of Trees can help undertake any detailed analysis. So we've designed this work, these maps, to be as useful to as many people as possible, the widest range of audiences as possible. Certainly we think that in the case of planning and development, this is going to be really useful for helping to look at the importance of existing sites that are planned for development, or maybe help identify potential sink sites, thinking of net gain, and also to ensure that in areas where trees could serve a real function, to make sure that trees are incorporated into any development proposal there. We also think this is useful for landowners, whether that's private landowners or local authorities, for helping put together cases for funding, if to help tell the story, to help demonstrate the different benefits that could be gained from trees being planted at that location. So I hope that's explained something about how we've created these maps, and we'll be able to take questions later on.